1970. Good morning, everyone. It's 8:40 right now. Welcome back to the program. Lou and Jackie here.
Good morning.
Being joined by one of our friends in studio, Jackie.
That's right. We do have Michael Jankins talking some ways of making sure you are staying safe with your money, or smart with your money is a more appropriate word to use, especially when we deal with having debt. And I tell you what, Michael, I get things in my mail regularly telling me there's people out there that are going to help me get rid of all of my debt. I just have to jump on board with them. Why is that not such a great idea?
Well, because they just promise a lot of things that aren't going to happen. I've been seeing this a lot lately. It kind of runs in spurts, and after I kind of see it a lot going on, I go, you know what, I need to cover this topic again.
Because they bombard you on radio and TV, internet, mail, as Jackie just mentioned. So again, what do you need to know about the pros and cons?
Yeah, pros and cons of filing bankruptcy or going with a debt consolidation.
Yeah, they call them debt consolidation companies or debt relief companies. They got all kinds of names for them. But they promise to settle your debts for some nominal amount, 50 cents on the dollar, or 40 cents on the dollar. And at least from the experience I've got with meeting many, many people that are going through these programs, is they do more harm than good. And I personally don't think that it's really ever a good thing to do. Certainly some people might have other opinions, but I see all the train wrecks coming out of those programs, and so that's probably why I have a very negative view of what they do. So first of all, they want to settle all your debts for as low an amount as possible, and that's all well and good, but if you're trying to get out of most of your debt, why don't you just file Chapter 7 bankruptcy and get rid of all your debt? So that really has never made much sense to me as to why people are afraid to file bankruptcy, but they aren't afraid to do these things. And so some people are all current on their credit cards when they get contacted by these companies, or they reach out to these companies after being bombarded in the mail or getting numerous emails or hearing them come up on late night cable shows. And so they give them a call, and they sound real good. They'll have a pitch man or pitch woman on the other end of the phone that's there to make a sale. And so, they're saying all these good things to get these people's hopes up that it's going to be great stuff. And it really isn't. They don't really tell them the accuracies about filing bankruptcy. They actually try to convince people not to. I think they mislead people as to what happens in bankruptcy. First of all, they don't really know, and they want to lure them in, so they're trying to steer them away from bankruptcy if they're sort of on the fence. The other thing that they are real good at doing is either completely misleading people about the risks of being in their program, which are that if you're in it for a lengthy period of time and you have some very big credit card debts, then you're apt to be sued by the companies that you owe, and they will result in judgments and wage garnishments and bank account garnishments. Although in their paperwork that the people have to sign, the contract that goes on for pages and pages, it may make reference to the possibilities of these things, and that would be great if the people actually read the stuff.
Right.
But nobody does.
But nobody does. They just sign it and return it. And so when they're talking to the person and the subject comes up, the person's going to just gloss over these risks and go, oh, you don't have to worry about those things. Well, yeah, you got to worry about them a lot, because the people that are the creditors, they're not negotiating all at one time. They're not agreeing to participate in this program. So whichever company a consumer goes to settle on their debts, they'll send out a letter to all the credit card companies advising them that they've been retained to help this person in a program. And Discover and Bank of America don't jump for joy and go, our problems are solved. They go, oh, we're sending this to litigation. So a person can be in the program 6 months, a year. Well, the accounts with $10,000 on them aren't getting any money. All the small accounts are being settled first, so they can at least show that they've settled accounts and at least have some semblance of legitimacy to their program. But the big companies aren't getting money, and so that train just keeps on rolling, and then they sue people. And then when the person who's being sued goes to these companies, they go, oh, we'll look it over and they'll tell them, oh, you should just go file something. So they're just trying to hold the person in the program paying as long as they can, collecting their money. And so that's the other thing that occurs. They don't really explain all the fees and costs that are buried in the contract. Again, if a person reads through it, because they bring these contracts to my office when we meet during the first bankruptcy appointment, and I read through them, and there's all kinds of fees that the company's collecting on these things. And I've seen cases where the fees that they're paying the company, if they actually got through the whole thing, would almost be about the same amount as what they paid to the creditors. So in the end, the person isn't really saving all that much money.
Just as good paying everybody off.
Or maybe filing bankruptcy.
Would have been a lot better.
I was going to say, do you find a lot of people that go the debt settlement route eventually do end up filing bankruptcy because they get caught in kind of a dark hole?
Because I don't know all the numbers of people that go to the debt settlement companies, all I can say is the people that come to me are the people that were in these companies and it didn't work out for them.
Right.
How long do they string them along?
As long as they can keep collecting their money.
We're talking years?
Sometimes I've seen them in 2 years before they dropped out after paying thousands of dollars, and they did get some settlements out of it, but the company also made thousands of dollars in fees off the person, and they still ended up in bankruptcy, and their credit got wrecked. And the whole time they were in this, 1 or 2 years, they had wreck credit about 3 months after they were in it, if they were current, because everybody stopped getting paid, and their credit rating hit rock bottom. If they had filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, from the filing till the ending is 3 months, and then you can start building your credit score back up just by making your regular car payments and everything, and get good credit again. Meanwhile, you're just sitting with awful credit during the time you're going through the program. So it's just another real bad reason. And then to top it off, after you've paid all that money in, and these are people that had a lot of credit card debt, then they end up filing bankruptcy anyway after they've dropped $5,000, $10,000 with the company or more. And so
do you think people see it as a quick fix? Is that why? Or you're just caught up in the stress of having all this debt that you get something in the mail, or you get an email, or you see something on TV and you're like, this is a quick fix, so I'm going to go that route, as opposed to knowing and being knowledgeable of what you teach us every week or so about bankruptcy and how that can help you?
Well, I don't know that there's anything quick about it, though. I mean, it's going to be, in the best of circumstances, it's going to be a lengthy program. I mean, you're going to be in there for probably at least 2 to 3 years, if not longer, if it was going to really last that long, because that's how long it would actually take for many of the people to get settlements and pay out the amount that they thought they'd be paying out on these accounts. But there's too much attrition. I mean, the creditors don't just sit and wait. It isn't like going to a legitimate program like consumer credit, where the creditors are all agreeing to be in the program, and they're getting paid every month on their debt. They're not compromising the amount owed to them, which is what the debt settlement companies are.
Okay, so this is different than what you just had talked about.
100% different than consumer credit.
Let's clarify that.
Because there are some legitimate businesses out there that can help.
Right, the consumer credit agencies, and they're all over the country. Here we have Consumer Credit of Des Moines. They're getting the credit card companies to all agree to be participants in the program, and the reason they agree to be participants is because they're getting paid every month. They're just going to get paid at a different rate of interest, but they're collecting money. Whereas in the debt settlement companies, no one's collecting anything until maybe they've been in it a year, and then that's a maybe. So they don't just sit around waiting. They just keep on collecting and going about their business to try to get their money.
Now, Michael, you're always great about talking to people. If they're in a situation where, like, I have this debt, I don't know what to do, could they just call your office and have this conversation with you?
Yeah, I mean, we talk to people, and it's a free consultation. You can reach us at 255-1855, and we'll sit down and talk with you, or just answer questions on the phone. Or you can find us on the internet at www.iowa-bankruptcylaw.com, or you can follow us on Facebook. And
you can talk about the couple of different kinds of bankruptcies that are out there, and the one you were talking about was Chapter 7.
But Chapter 13 is an option too, and we lay out all your options during the consultation, and you don't have to do anything. If you come in and want to go a different route, you're free to do so.
All right, what better way to do that than get some smart information
well,
about this?
Get educated and make the right choice for yourself. Obviously, we want to start the new year, hopefully not being in debt, but there are some options out there, but don't jump on the first one you see.
For sure.
All right, great advice. And I hear you're going to be talking some tax information next time you're in here. 'Tis tax season, so know how that can help you as well.
Sneak preview.
Just a little teaser for
you. There you go, tease.
Thank you, Michael Jankins. Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
All right, and before you go, who's going to win the Super Super Bowl?
Uh-oh.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Woo,
you heard it here first.
here.
Okay. We'll be back. This is CW Iowa Live.